Happy 2026. If you're anything like me and you learned how to knit in 2025, then I'm sure you have big plans for 2026. I want to go through everything that I have on my knit list this year. It's an ambitious list and I don't think I'm going to be able to get through everything, but I'm really optimistic. I really hope that life cooperates and allows me to be able to knit most of everything on this list, but I guess we'll have to see what the year has in store. If you've never knit before, I hope this is encouraging to you. I've only knit one sweater and now I have two other sweaters. One is mostly done, another is just getting started as I wait for other yarn, and I'll get into those my January and my February knits. I really want to shout out the YouTube tutorial, the step-by-step sweater, because that is really where you learn all of the foundations. Is really what kickstarted me into being able to knit more advanced patterns, and I'm only on my second and third items, and so far they're going really well, and I really attribute all of that to the skills that I learned and how well it was articulated in that step-by-step tutorial. So if you are an aspiring knitter and you haven't knit anything, I would definitely recommend you go check out that YouTube video, because it's really going to kickstart you into the most fun you've ever had, honestly. Let's get cozy and let's get into my must knits for 2026. So my January knit is called the Harlow sweater by Caidree, and I love this sweater. Trying to reach for more advanced patterns and not just stick to what I know from this. I'm trying to use each one of them as kind of a springboard into the next. And so this Harlow sweater is teaching me a lot of new things. Here so far is where I'm at with the Harlow sweater, and it's teaching me how to create a v-neck, which is really lovely. I am eventually going to have to do a folded ribbed collar around this v-neck, which I'm excited to learn. I also had to start this project with an I-cord and German short rows. This step-by-step sweater did not have German short rows, so I didn't learn how to do that. But the German short rows, I realized, it gives it that more higher length in the back and a little bit shorter in the front, and makes it a little bit more comfortable. I'm using Knitting for Olive. I ended up buying the extra fine merino and not the heavyweight merino, but it's making it really drapey. The other thing too is that I think this is what it would look like after I would have blocked the garment had I used the heavyweight. So I think I'm already really enjoying it. I am also loving the colors. I'll shut up about this one in a second, but if you are interested in these colors and you do really like them, it is in the color Midnight for Knitting for Olive, and then also in the color Dusty Violet is the mohair. So that's my January plan once I get the yarn in the mail, and I hope to finish that by the end of the month. Reporting live from the editing room, I have actually since finished my January knit. If you hang out until the end, I will show you guys what it looks like after blocking, and I'm obsessed with it. I can't believe my skills are only going to improve and things are only going to get better from here. I can't believe this is what my second project looks like. In the meantime, I am starting my February project, and that is this Hug Me Tight sweater by TeploKnitwear. And I am using this really gorgeous MadebyRoshPatterns yarn. I think it's in MadebyRoshPatterns 121 is the color, but if you can just see, I hope it zooms in, maybe if I like swatch it, all these colors, burgundies, there's turquoise, there's navy blues, there's deep like mocha chocolate browns. Like, it's just really pretty. I really wasn't sure what color I wanted to, and then I saw this and I figured, like, why do I have to do a solid? And it is a 2x2 ribbing, the entire thing 2x2 ribbing. I also wanted something a little bit tighter. I didn't necessarily only want to stick to sweaters, of course. I did want to get into more flattering garments. Not that sweaters aren't flattering, but I do really like this mock neck long sleeve style, even though it's called, Hug Me Tight, it's sweater. I really like it as like a long sleeve. I'm so excited to see how this comes to life in the long sleeve, and I hope that I can wear this on Valentine's Day with my husband. Okay, getting into March. So March could switch. I did have an idea and I've already purchased the yarn for this next project, but by the time that I'm done with it, it's probably going to be April, so I probably won't get to wear it, but I want to make a poncho. I saw this creator, her name is Paige. I don't know her actual account but her name is Paige and she's on TikTok. And she just like free-handed this really beautiful, this poncho that she made. In one of her videos, she did post a screenshot of the pattern that she wrote down. And I think she's since deleted that video, but when she did post it, I did take a screenshot of it. I don't know if she's planning on selling it. I hope that she does. I think she would get a lot of traction with that, but I do have it on my phone. I was quick to jump on that when she shared it, and unfortunately I don't think it's there anymore, but I do plan on trying to make it. She didn't get into specifics about how much yarn she used or what type of yarn she used, so I am going to probably have a little bit of difficulty, but again, I'm excited to just try to figure this out. I did get yarn from Knitting for Olive again because I had a gift card for Christmas, and it's going to be in the color in like a heather gray, but then I paired it with also an oatmeal colored cashmere. I'm really looking forward to that. Whether I create that in March, we'll see. But again, I already have the yarn and I'm going to try to probably not buy more yarn until I finish the next, but I feel like every knitter says that. But anyway, that's what I hope to happen. Getting into April, of course, I want to try to do things other than just winter wear. So I want to try to create this really beautiful drapey, what is this? Not off the shoulder. I forget what that, it's really escaping me right now, that type of top is called. This is from the creator MadebyRoshPatterns. And I found this on Etsy. Excited to make this. I think, again, for making this in April to be ready for May would be perfect. Hopefully, because it's not, you know, a long sleeve, it doesn't have all this ribbing, and it just looks to be a stockinette stitch, I think that it might work up pretty quickly, and I could probably get a jump then on some of the May ideas and some other plans that I have. I don't have the pattern. I don't know what yarn I'm going to use yet or what color, but that is just something that really stood out to me. In May, I really wanted to create a dress. I am a May baby. My birthday's in May and I'll be turning 29. And I just thought being able to knit my own dress would be really cute. Again, I think maybe this would take me, I'm ambitious when I say this, but maybe as long as it would take me to knit a sweater, just because again, I'm not really doing too many sleeves, but it is much longer of a garment. So maybe that offsets having to do sleeves, so hopefully I can knock that out in a month. Fingers crossed. This is by the creator Tveitodesigns, also from Etsy. It might be on Ravelry, I'm not sure, but I will link all of these patterns in the description if you're interested. If you come across anything that I share here that you've also made or that you plan on making this year, let me know. I'm excited to see either how it went for you. Feel free to share any advice or pictures of your garment, your finished garment, or just, you know, give a shout out that you're trying to make this as well. Getting into June. So now I really want to focus on like summer wear. So I saw this pattern also on Etsy. I'm really an Etsy girl if you haven't been able to tell. So this pattern, it says BelleKnitStudio. I really love these tanks. I really love that blue. I think again, for June, those are perfect. And who knows, maybe I'll be able to make like a few of them, maybe make some for a friend. Looks like there's two different versions of them. One has, I don't even want to call it an underwire, but like a row going across underneath the bust, where the other one is just straight down. So maybe for a little bit more support. The way that this also is written, just by the title alone, I don't know if it's going to be in English. I haven't really ventured too deep into that. So if that's not the case, I'm going to have to figure out something else. I really also want to acknowledge that as someone living in the US, our ability to share patterns in different languages is so much more limited. I have written a crochet sweater pattern before, and I could try to translate it to other languages, although I'm not really entirely sure of the accuracy of that, and I don't necessarily want to get poor feedback as if my instructions are unclear if it's not translated, you know, exactly as the pattern is supposed to. I don't want to have people invest all that time and energy into a pattern and then it be absolutely shit, especially if they're trying to buy it, if they buy it for me as well. So I really just stick to English, but I go and I buy these patterns and it's like all these different versions of it in these various languages, mainly from overseas knitters and fiber artists. And I'm really impressed. And so I just want to acknowledge that. Now, switching gears a little bit for July, I wanted to do a pant option. I found this pattern by, I guess it's just called Sando.co. And I love these pants. I think they're gorgeous. I mean, they look so comfortable. I probably want to make them exactly however whatever yarn is chosen for this, the way it's advertised, I think I want to remake. I almost wonder too if maybe there's an elastic waistband in there that's really interesting. And again, just upping the skills even more if that's the case by sewing that into that. But I really love these. I would love to wear these on the beach or around my house. They look really cozy. With them being knit pants, I'm not sure if they're really going to be like grocery store appropriate. If I like bend over and you can just see my ass cheeks, we'll see. But I think in the summer, beachy, at home lounge, they look really, really comfortable. August, I want to acknowledge that I am now entering into the fall months. By the time that I'm done with the project that I make in August, it's going to be September, right? So I have to keep that in mind. Of course, being that I am a beginner knitter, obviously Petite knit is on my list. Of course. I mean, it's on everyone's list. And again, I want to keep trying to try new things. You notice I haven't mentioned cables nor color work yet, and I'm getting there. You'll see what I have planned for November, December, in a moment, even I think October. But I love the element of a zipper. I think this not only teaches you how to do, this one would teach me how to do pockets and a zipper. And it just looks so comfortable. The way that she's wearing that, I love that. I think that would be perfect for September, perfect for a chilly day, just to like be running around. I think she styled this beautifully, so it's perfectly advertised, obviously. I would love to make it. Again, don't know what yarn she's used, but I do think that color is really cute. Maybe like I'm thinking like a deep brown. I love deep browns. I think they're much more flattering on me. Now in September, of course, by the time I make this in September, hopefully it will be ready for October. So this creator, she's done a lot of really beautiful color work. I found her on TikTok, KCD_knits. That is her account name, and she's designed this bear sweater. I love this sweater. Really cute. Even the colors that she had, I think I'm just really drawn to it for like a fall type sweater. It's not super like Christmassy. It does still look very fall. So shout out to her. Definitely check out her account. She has a lot of other color work patterns. If you like this style, she has others. I think she has a moose pattern as well that's currently being tested. So definitely go check her out. Again, if you're on TikTok, you've probably come across this creator. And if you haven't, you should definitely go look at her work. She pretty much just freehands all of her color work, and she doesn't write a pattern, which makes it really difficult. But I'm hoping by maybe what I learned from the other garments that I make this year, that maybe I could do something similar to this. Her name is Sav Knits, 2 exclamations. And she made this awesome winter sweater. I don't even know how she did it. The fact that she freehanded this is unbelievable. I think it's a work of art. I think it's really modern. It doesn't feel so dated. It feels much more, I don't know, like just like cool girl. I even love the colors. Like if I could make this exactly as she did, I would love to do that. The way she's kind of done what looks to be kind of like snow with her little patches of navy throughout it, and the moose and the mountains, like I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. There's just like no notes that I have for it. I wish she had a pattern for it so badly, but she's just really skilled. And she even made one with a lot of bows on it, if you guys have seen that. Either way, she's just like a really talented knitter, and I hope that I could make something like that for myself for the winter. I hope maybe that she has it as a goal for her 2026 to write this down as a pattern, because I think she'd crush it. Like she could probably, if she has a day job, quit her day job just because of this pattern, I think. So now we're into November. Of course, we have to think about gifts for our loved ones. Not that you really have to make things for other people, but I think it just makes you feel good. Granted, if I would have spent the entire year knitting things just for myself, maybe I could spend a month knitting things for other people. The main thing that I would love to do is make a sweater for my husband, either a cable knit sweater, like a fisherman's jumper kind of thing, or I saw again this pattern from Petite knit that is a quarter zip with a collar, and I think he would really love that. I know he has some already. The other thing though is I would love for it to be a surprise, and you know, he spends so much time sitting next to me as I knit things that it's like just another thing that I would love by the end of it to be basically be like, look, I made this for you. But, you know, it might get to the point where I don't want the dimensions to be wrong. I want to make sure that it does fit him. And so I don't spend all that time making it and it doesn't. So we'll see what I decide. I also, kind of a trend, but the sailor slipper, I just didn't see that in time. By the time that I'd started my knitting journey, I hadn't had the time to make the sailor slipper. But I think making those for a couple of my family would be really great, as well as maybe some stockings. My sister recently gave birth to my first biological niece, and I would love to knit them a stocking. I think that would be a really wonderful gift, or just even a couple of clothing items. If you are liking these so far, I definitely would love if you could subscribe to my channel. Then that lets me know that you want more of these ideas. If you want some progress, maybe I'll post some progress updates at like a 6-month mark for how these are going and what I actually made. Of course, this is just my list right now, but I might see something else that kind of swaps things around a little bit. Here is the finished project. If I stand up, I don't know if you can actually like see it very well. I love it. I love the side detail here. It has the I-cord, the German short rows. It's like the perfect length for my sleeves. The slits on the side is perfect, and I'm obsessed. Highly recommend this pattern. It wasn't listed as a beginner pattern. There are no pictures. I think I mentioned that, but there are a couple of YouTube links to go check out how to do certain things. It's definitely doable to figure out, obviously. So highly recommend. Anyways, Happy New Year and happy knitting.